Rennie. Can you introduce yourself, man, please?
I'm Rhonda, I'm 30 years old. I live in Itabuna, Bahia. I'm graduated in business administration. I work in credit analysis. I like, yes, I like to
Nice.
listen to music. I really like podcasts, TV shows, movies, and that's it for now.
Really nice, man. I'm a financial analyst as well, so I need to make some analysis, credit analysis sometimes.
Good.
And yeah, it's a delicate point because you are dealing with the financial health of a company. It can impact the cash flow and all this stuff, but it's really good as well. Nice to hear that, man. Thanks for sharing, bro. And what about you, Rhonda?
Hi guys, I'm Rhonda. I'm from Niterói, Rio de Janeiro. I have two sons, two daughters-in-law, one grandson. I have two cats too, and I'm a dancer. Yes, it's that.
Really nice, Rhonda. Thanks for sharing. And last but not least, Sarah.
Morning, guys. I'm Sarah. I'm a hostess here as well. I live in Ilhéus, Bahia. Actually, Henny and I, we went to the same university, but in different moments. What else? My favorite TV show is How I Met Your Mother. I really like this show. I like taking Zumba classes with my computer because I'm too shy to go to the gym. Yeah, and reading some books. It's always very nice to have your company and share a great conversation.
Really nice, Sarah. Thanks for sharing. And guys, I'm gonna start to read the questions for you. And let me see here. In your opinion, why do people get confused even when they speak the same language? What do you think, Rhonda, about it?
Yeah, it's difficult to define why, but I think it's because they don't pay attention what the other people speak. Other people speak. I think most of the time one person is speaking and another one thought and think in another thing. I think is that. And you, Sarah?
Yeah, in my case, it is about I don't know, people say that I speak too fast or that sometimes I get excited about things, and I can sound a little bit confusing. In my opinion, that can happen. But I agree with you. If you are not paying attention, it could get harder to understand, because sometimes it's something deeper or complex, And for me as well, the things that people say me is about diction or enunciate the words, because if you are putting everything together like a crazy person that I do that sometimes, it's not easy to be understood. So it's about how you express yourself, how you pronounce words, even in your native language, and about how the other person, if the other person is willing to pay attention, to listen to carefully, so a lot of factors can be considered in this matter. Yeah.
For sure. Choose another one.
Yeah. My neighbor, Henny, go ahead.
I agree with you because it's there are many reasons why people get confused. Communication is very complex because it depends on how you see the world, and how you see the world depends on your history, your family background, your experience. So you have to be very careful when you speak to someone. The vocabulary you use may be a problem as well. Maybe the other person don't have the same vocabulary or don't understand the words, even in the same language you are speaking. So there are a lot of things to consider when you are having a conversation. And that's why people get confused, because they don't understand the words, or they don't see your point of view. They have different things passing through their minds in that moment. They are not paying attention. Yeah, a lot of things. What about you, Bruno?
Well, yeah, I agree with you all, guys. I think that there are lots of facts that can contribute about misunderstanding, even though you are speaking the same language, For example, the way that you are talking about something, if you are using slangs, or not. And Rhonda said something really interesting about paying attention about what you are saying to the, what you are saying. Other people need to have attention, about what you are saying. And sometimes you are excited, as Sarah said, and you are so excited that you want to talk, to speak all the things in the same time, and it's impossible, So there are lots of facts, things that can contribute in a misunderstanding, and maybe you are not expressing yourself in a way that make people understand, So it's really complicated, And in the past, I need to confess that I was a little bit confusing in order to explain something. Now I think that I'm a little bit better. Sometimes I get confused. I don't know. I think that because of I sometimes I am nervous. Excited to say something. I get confused. I change the words. I don't know. I think that it's happened with all people. It's really, it's interesting. At the same time, it's a little bit, I don't know, it can cause some issues. Yeah, that's the thing. And guys, I want to know from you about, have you ever been in a situation where you said one thing and the person understood something completely different? I want to know from Sarah.
Probably because, like I said, people are always saying, "What? Can you repeat?" So it's normal in my life, and I'm the problem. I have this. I'm aware of that, But I think that the example that I can remember right now is my mother, because she's a little bit dramatic sometimes. Sorry, mom, but that is truth. That is the truth. Because sometimes I just say, "Oh, I don't want to go somewhere today." And she's like, "Oh, I get it. You prefer to stay alone. You don't want to go out with me anymore." And sometimes it's a little bit about feelings, Another factor that can impact the comprehension and the communication we have, it's feelings, because if you have a close relationship with this person, the words you use, you can be misunderstood, because feelings are on the way, somehow they are affecting the thoughts that this person can have. And my mother, she's like that. She makes a huge deal of some little stuff that I say, small stuff that I say, and I know it's not completely different, but she takes things to another level, And of course, I think it's among most things because they are all kind of dramatic at some points, but I get it because it's not hard, it's not easy to be a mother. I don't I can't judge, but it's just something that I can observe, you know. Oh, I'm gonna
Well,
choose Rhonda. Sorry.
yeah.
I was a little bit confused.
Yeah, of course. I think it is easier to happen this kind of thing. You want to express a feeling or a thing, and another person understand everything in the opposite. Like last week, I was in a group of protection for cats, and I put a message with a law in Spain, and then they misunderstood this kind of thing. I don't know why. And they start an argument of politics here, of Bolsonaro and Lula. My gosh, I don't want to talk about politics. I send a message for cats, and the argument is so hard and so aggressive. I give up this group, and okay, no, I can't bear with this kind of thing. Yeah, this happened. How about you, Bruno?
Well, yeah, you know, sometimes it's happening with me, mainly at work, right? Because at work we use a lot of different ways to communicate with other people. You know, we can send emails or using Teams, you know, and or maybe you can call to them, you know. And but in my opinion, one thing that happens a lot is when you are sending an email and, you know, exchanging emails, let's say like this, and people, when you write something, you don't know how people is expressing, you know, I mean, how can I say, in a the face, you don't know the face expressions or the hand gestures, you know. So it's really difficult to know sometimes if they are arguing with you or just trying to transmit a message, you know. And when I realized that the feedback is not so good, or there are some not offensive, but it's a little bit there is a angry in the way that the person answers, I always try to call them, you know, call to this person, because I believe that when you call I believe that the people feel a little bit not calm, but they lower the defense, you know, let's say like this. And when you call, you can solve the problem as soon as possible, you know. It's really easy to solve the problem when you call to the person, much more easier, you know. So because sometimes you send an email and receive an email and back and forth, it's crazy, you know. And sometimes you just make a call and solve all the problems, and that's it, you know.
Yeah, I think our communication as Brazilian people is much more easier to the sound of the sentence, not for the word, but the sound and the gesture. It's not like German people. German people is straight in her argument.
Yeah, they straight to the point, and they say what they want to say, and they don't care about your feelings, like let's say like this, and Brazilian people always try to be polite, and sometimes we get sad or upset because of the way that you say something, yeah, it's really crazy. And yeah, basically that's my opinion, if you have some issues or misunderstanding, you just make a call, or you can talk in person with this person, and I believe that you can solve your problems easier, yeah. And what about you, Henny? What do you think, man?
I agree with you guys. And the last thing Bruno and Wanda was saying about Brazilian people, that's it. We are very emotional, and you have the necessity to people like us. We have this kind of thing. We want everyone to like us. So we usually will try to say things, but we are not very directly, and that causes very misinterpretation. This kind of thing happens a lot in workplace, as Bruno said. I agree with you. When I think about an example, it comes to me always situations in the workplace. You have to do an alignment, and you speak, you explain the situation, you explain how things will work, but people understand in different ways, because every single one sees or hear what you're saying through their own filters. So I have examples every day in my workplace, mostly when I have to do some requests, and there are a lot of confusions with them, but I think it's our responsibility as speaker, or who does the request, to be able to make things more clearly, more clear. So we can have a communication flow more fluid, more flows. Lost here the verb, but that's it. I think it happens a lot. I think it happens every day, but we have to be able to work with the situation and make sure things are clear to everyone involved.
Really nice words, man. And I agree with you. At work, it is something that happens all the time, and you need to make sure that people will understand what you are saying, without being upset, because sometimes they got upset. Yeah.
And you have to use the tools. Sometimes you can send an email or a message, but sometimes you have to call. The way you speak, the voice, the tone will make sure people understand very clear and will not get upset.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the way that you this is the way that you said, it's in this way, because it's crazy how people get frustrated or angry because of any the message, that you send. It's really crazy, man. All the time you need to, and when you receive some message that you don't like, let's say like this, you need to breathe in, take your time, count until 5, and then you answer the message. Because if you answer the message right away, maybe you can not choose the right words to explain this. It's really crazy, man. Yeah. And let me see, Sarah, did you answer the question? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me see here. I will jump the number. I don't know. I will ask you guys, but I already answered this one. You know, what is the place where the lack of understanding happens? For me, is at work. You know, I don't know about you guys. What do you think, Wanda?
I think in all the place, in family, in work, and it's lack of understanding happens all the time. Maybe if I put a sentence here and you don't understand me, and oh my gosh, she is so an adjective, and it's that, yeah, happiness with all the being human being all the time and all the place, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it can happen all in all the places, yeah, not just in one place. You know. But in the other places, in my opinion, for example, if you are in person, it's better to discuss and to
To
talk
solve,
about things.
yeah,
To solve the
yeah.
problem. Yeah, you know. But when you are sending an email, for example,
Yeah,
it's very-
text is so hard. When I text for my friends, I used to put emotions and etc. because I'm so direct in my text, and normally they answer me, "Oh, you are hungry." Right. And no, I'm not hungry. And now I put many emotions, flowers, etc. to solve this problem.
Yeah, to make sure that they understand you. Yeah, really nice, Wanda. Thanks for sharing. And you, Sarah, what do you think about it?
I can totally relate, Wanda. I always use emojis when I'm talking with like a formal conversation. I have to control myself to not use emojis because sometimes it's not appropriate, you know. But I always try to put the emoji so I can set the tone, make sure I'm being nice or that I'm not being too straightforward, you know, with someone. I was thinking about the number one for me, the number one place is the internet, because oh my gosh, you can say that, oh, the day is beautiful today, and people are like, oh, but in, I don't know, in Turkey there was a earthquake and people died. You know, I'm not saying that's not important, but sometimes people are too, I don't know, they are always trying to find something to fight about, or maybe that's just the perspective that I have. Or if you if you say, for example, oh guys, I'm afraid of, me as a girl, I can say, oh, sometimes I feel unsafe around men. And it's my opinion because I have felt like this, you know, but it's not like I'm saying all men are bad or all men are not trustable, you know, but I can, if I post this, some guys or some girls can say, oh, you are generalizing, you are saying guys are the worst, you are creating a movement against guys. No, I'm not, you know, there's just, you just see like a frame about someone's opinion, but it's not like they are saying about every single guy on earth. It's just, it's very hard to be understood on the internet. Oh my gosh, I avoid to share polemic opinions because of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
I totally agree with you, Sarah. It's like you can say anything because people get frustrated or angry with you because your opinion, you know, or maybe they don't understand you so well, you know. It's crazy. You can say nothing. It's it's really boring. Yeah. And thanks for sharing. What about you, Rennie? What do you think, man?
Happens in every place. In my case, I think it happens with certain frequency in workplace because I have to communicate with many kinds of people. So it's common to ask one thing and you receive another answer, an answer that don't have anything to do about the question I made. So very common. Sometimes I have to, I really don't know how to say it in English, so I will try to explain. It's a kind of message to ask to a specialist about a situation that are happening with me, and that person is far away, and I have to send a message, and I ask something, and they answer me completely different things. Many times I already say what I know and ask what I don't know to be very clear, and they just answer me what I said in my own message. So it's very frustrated, and I have to reopen the request, and sometimes that goes for days until I get a straight answer. So it's very hard. For the past year, I have tried to work improving my position as a speaker, or who send the message, but as well who is receiving the message. When I'm going to answer something, I really read twice to see if I understood the message, if what I'm going to answer is what the other person asked, or things like that, because it's very complicated. And to me, it's happened a lot in workplace.
Yeah, yeah, really, really good answer, man. I totally feel you, bro. Yeah, thanks for sharing, man. And let me see here. That's a good one. What can we do to send our message and make sure that people will understand it? You know, in my case, I always, for example, when I need to text to someone, if I'm not sure that what I'm writing is so clear for the others, I always ask for someone else if they understand my message, you know, in a clear way, to not make any mistake about misunderstanding. You know, I always try to ask before I send the message. I try to ask to someone else to check the message, you know, and if it's okay, that's good. I send the message and let's see, you know. It's a way that I found to not make any mistakes, you know, because sometimes as we watch in the video, you know, on the video, that each one has your own opinion on own way to think about the things. We are like universes, you know. It's each one has a universe inside your head, you know, and the way you are your uh, own way to think about things, you know, and that's okay. Sometimes uh, you are not uh, you won't uh, send a bad message or something like that, you know. You don't want to harm anyone, you know, but people understand in the way that they understand, you know. It's crazy, but that's it, guys. And what about you, Wanda? What do you do to make sure that people understand your message clear?
Yeah, depends of the message. If it is a little message from WhatsApp, as I said, I put emotions and it's okay. And if it's email more formally, I put many words like good morning, please, and works like that for people see and know I stay calm and I want to get a good connection.
Really nice, Wanda. Thanks for sharing. And you, Rennie?
I I use the same techniques that you are that you said, guys. I asked someone else for opinion about my message. I try to use polite words, as Rhonda said, always to make sure people are going to receive my message and see that I'm not angry or it's not a demand, it's just a request, a polite one. And I try to be open to explain again or ask again if necessary, because it's not how we say, but it's how the other people are receiving our message. And sometimes not the problem, but the situation is with them, even though I think the responsibility is with are sending the message. So if I'm sending the message, it's my responsibility to make sure the message is receiving the right way, is received in the right way. But I have to be aware that the other person may not be open to receiving the message very well. So we have to have that balance to be sure about that the message is going to be very well received. That's it.
Really nice, man. Really nice. Thanks for sharing. And you, Sarah, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with Rennie. It's not easy to assume you are the cause, the message is not so, it's not being understood. So you gotta take responsibility, like he said. And talking about spoken communication, I've been trying to practice like tongue twisters, like she sells seashells by the seashore. I do things like that. So I can improve my speak, not only with English, but even in Portuguese. There are some misunderstood. So it's up to me to practice, to realize that I can make it better, in some way. So yeah, I try to speak slowly. Not always I get this thing done, but I try to speak slowly and to breathe more. While I'm talking, and yeah, if I'm not being understood, I have to be open. Okay, you can ask me is everything clear? Especially because I've been giving classes, so I gotta check up for understanding. Sometimes too much, I have to find a balance, because if you are always okay, it's right, people get sick of you. So try to because it might sound insecure and everything. So it's important to check for understanding, but not too much, not all the time. Just let things happen, in my opinion. Yeah.
Really nice. Yeah. Deal with people is like this, you need to make sure that you are clear and people understand you, because if don't, it can become a huge problem. Yeah. And taking these answers, your answers, can a lack of understanding ruin a day? In my opinion, yes. I believe that the words have power. Yeah. And for me, if you say something that people don't understand so well, it can ruin a day. Destroy a person's life. Yeah, it's crazy how impactful is a word, when you say it for other people. It can build something good for other people and can destroy as well. It's crazy. And what do you think, Rennie, about it?
I agree with you. It's not only can ruin a day, it can ruin a life. You can lose jobs, you can get divorced. It's tragic. But yes, to me, in special, I have a habit to think and rethink about something I said or I heard, and sometimes it goes all day long. So sometimes my mind will be focused on something I said, and I think, oh, I should have said that in a different way, or I should have received that conversation in a different way. So yes, I agree. Sometimes it's hard to deal with. What about you, Wanda?
Yeah, I agree. It's a tragedy to misunderstand and ruin our day. Yeah, but it's easier to solve this kind of thing, like Bruno said. We need to talk in personally or call for this person and try to everything will be all right. But if it is a person and that person used to confuse your speech, I think you don't need to explain and explain again. I think you can give up with this person, this complicated person, and go ahead to your life, because there is many other person and easy person. We don't need to stay all the time with a complicated person. It's hard to get this kind of company.
Totally agree, Wanda. Thanks for sharing. And you, Sarah, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I need Vanda's way of thinking in my life, because it's hard for me to give up on people sometimes. I have to learn. But I agree with her. I think that it can ruin a day or even a whole mood. You are happy, you had a great day, and out of the blue, you get a message that was unexpected or said. Even sometimes it's not only the things that you said, but also the things you don't say that could, they are communication as well. So I found I've been in this position. Oh, I didn't get like a message that I was expecting, and I felt anxious or frustrated. It's normal, but I try to make my day my own responsibility, because I shouldn't let other things get in the way of my happiness. But it's easier said than done. I always say that here, because in my head I know a lot of great stuff, but I have to follow my own advices, and it's not a piece of cake, but I try, right? But yeah, I think we should find healthy ways to have a relationship with people. And if it's not possible, you can like fire people, fire clients, like we see on social media. Oh, this client is a pain on the neck, so goodbye, and move on with your life.
Really nice, Sarah. Thanks for sharing. And guys, I want to know from you if you consider yourself a good communicator. Yeah, in my case, I think so. I need to be better at it, but I think that I can transmit my message in a clear way. In English, I am struggling it, yet, because I need to improve my English a lot. And sometimes we have a lack of words to say, and yeah, but in general, at least in Portuguese, I always try to make sure that people understand my message. And I think that, yeah, sometimes my shyness can stop me to being better, yeah, because I consider myself a shy person, but yeah, that's it. And what about you, Wanda? What do you think? Do you consider yourself a good communicator?
Yeah, I consider myself a good communicator because when I stay in a trip, I can communicate my feeling with many other people without English, without Portuguese in another country. Well, one time I stay with a Chinese girl in Turkey, and she didn't speak English, neither me. And we stay together all the time and so good, and we became friends without one word.
You see, it's crazy. It's not about know about some language. It's just about communication, you know. That's
Yeah.
why we don't care if you make mistakes or not, you know, because you are learning and we all are learning, you know. And with time we're gonna get better, but it's just about communication, how you can communicate, you know. It's really nice to hear that, Wanda. Thanks for sharing. And you, Rainy, what do you think, man?
I had the chance to participate in a communications project at work, and after a while, I think I'm a good communicator, but I like to think myself as a communications apprentice right now because when you are learning, you see that you have so much to improve in your communication. So techniques you can use to make it flows in a smooth way. So I think I am a good communicator, but I think I have so much to improve yet. And I'm in that process because in my line of work, it's important to make yourself understood and understand the other's perspective. So that's the point to me right now. I think I'm a good communicator, but I have a lot to improve yet.
I
Really
think
nice.
a good communicator needs to be a good listener because you need so much to listen another one, to understand the feeling for another one. It's so important to be a good listener.
You are searching right now, Rhonda. I agree with you. That's a line that I'm working. Listen more, because then we can communicate better. Yes, I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Really inspiring it. I love it, what you said, guys. Thanks for sharing, guys. And you, Sarah, what do you think?
Yeah, your answers have inspired me because I wasn't willing to say that, oh, I am a good communicator, but I have to work on my confidence. So I'm going to say yes as a trust vow. I don't know. Because I was thinking here about college, about work situations, and usually I am the one to say, oh, we can do the presentation. Oh, Sarah, go ahead. I know you like to talk. Even though I get nervous, you know, sometimes you don't see something in yourself, but when people say, you start to observe and you realize, oh, you are actually good at something, you know. So thinking in retrospect about my experiences, when people say, oh, we should go, it's because they see a good communicator in me, so I'm trying to follow them. No, I think I am. I'm working on it for sure. And yeah, it's about the connection we create with the audience as well. Being a good listener is essential, like you guys mentioned. And that's what we do here. We try to listen, we try to engage, and not only like a key and A section, but interaction, right? To say, oh, that's a good point. That's part of the good communication, not only say, oh, okay, moving on. Okay, it's a whole package we try to develop here.
Really good words, Sarah. And in my opinion, you are an amazing communicator, for sure. And guys, I sent you some links. You know, the first one is about our survey. So please go there, rate us, because we need to know if you like or not the meeting, if you are enjoy the project, you know, the platform, everything here. So it's really important to have your opinion about our work, right? And the second one is about our YouTube channel. So if you want to check this meeting again, you can go there and listen and see if you make some mistakes, and if you want to improve it, you can do it, you know, through this. I always do this, always, all the time after the meetings. I always go there and, you know, and see and check my mistakes. And the last one is about, let me see, our site. So if you want to apply for another meeting, or maybe you are trying to learn another language, you can go there. You know, we have French, Italian, Spanish, and English, you know, and just go and do it, guys, because all this is for you guys, right? And it was a pleasure to be here with you. And I invite you all to be with me next Saturday here, 9 a.m. You know, it's really important your presence here, guys, you know. And guys, I wish you all a wonderful weekend, and see you in the next meeting, right? See you guys. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone. Take
Have a nice
care.
day.